Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Now, the Girl Guides Association and the Women's Institute, both what could be considered very long-standing pillars of British society. One is an organisation mainly for middle-class women in more rural Britain, of course, and the Girl Guides, which is a sort of paramilitary organisation for little girls. They were both founded to serve girls and women. And they've confirmed that they will now step back from their, what was previously their proudly trans-inclusive stances, where they would allow boys to sleep with girls in tents, unwatched, or would allow men to, join in with women's groups in the Women's Institute. Well, back in April, of course, the Supreme Court ruling that gender was sex-based, based on biological sex, not on what you wanted it to be or self-identification or any of that other nonsense, and that men and women are defined thusly. And now, 6-7 months later, they're finally being recognised by two of the UK's best-known groups for women, or females. Although it does seem there's an awful lot of reluctance with these two groups to do so. And indeed, when you look at some of the people involved with the Girl Guides, and it seems to be men with very, very poor makeup skills. But the Girl Guides Association, which was founded in 1910 by Baden-Powell's wife, whose name, Agnes, I think, and the 19th century's National Federation of Women's Institutes, to give it its full title, have both announced, within hours of each other yesterday, that they will no longer accept what they called trans girls or transgender women as members or volunteers. This is the important thing as well. So while you can't be a member, you cannot even be a volunteer. This is good. This is safe for girls particularly. The British newspaper, The Sun, noted that the Girl Guides were essentially forced into recanting their previous position by the threat of legal action. A legal letter by concerned parents of girls told this organisation, told the Girl Guides, that their children had their dignity violated and are vulnerable to intimidating, hostile, degrading, humiliating or offensive environment from sharing toilets or showers or changing facilities with boys, with contact sports with boys, and sharing accommodation with boys, all without their prior knowledge nor their consent. And so, very bravely, in the response to the looming threat of legal action, backed up, of course, by the Supreme Court, the Girl Guide said that in line with the Equality Act 2010, the girl and women referred to those who are biologically female, however they choose to identify, and that they would comply with the law, and in doing so, they said they'd make the very difficult decision. It's not a difficult decision at all, and with a heavy heart that I can believe, because they're very much in the way of let's make sure women are threatened by having men in changing rooms and things, that they were still looking for opportunities to champion what they called young people and adults in marginalised groups. That's fine. They can form their own, can't they? The Trans Guides or something, or the Weirdo Club and things like that. But the Girl Guides is for girls, biological girls. Quite right too. Now, this is problematic for them. They don't like it, but they are basically forced to do this. They said biological males would still be welcomed as volunteers, they said, in adult roles. They said, but they cannot be men. I mean, sorry, they cannot be trans. That is to say that if an adult male, regardless of how he dresses, it's still male, and so he won't be able to deal with anything involving women's safe areas, safe spaces, etc. I believe that that's wrong as well. I don't think men should be involved. I think it's got to be a purely female-led organisation. I have no politics on that one at all. That's how I feel, and it is. It's my philosophical belief, and you can shove it up your arse. Thank you, 2010 Equality Act. The Times also reported a parent behind the legal letter that triggered the change has hailed the decision and said that safeguarding for girls should never have been jettisoned for the sake of an ideology. Absolutely right. And it is common sense at last. But the Women's Institute, another one, which I'd say is predominantly sort of a rural, home crafty, let's bake cakes, do flower arranging, all just have a jolly good time. Jolly hockey stick lot. They followed suit, and made a similar statement, really, sort of as the Girls Guides did, saying that they've had to obey the women. It's clearly a women's organisation, and they're going to stick with it and ask all those trans males who pretend to be ladies to kindly and swiftly bugger off. Quite right too. Rosie Duffield, MP, Labour, or previously Labour, I think she's independent now because she's fed up with Labour. She said that men who try to inculcate themselves in these things need to go. They need to be removed. She removed herself from the Labour Party over such gender policies. Quite right. So she's got the strength on it anyway. There we go. So that's it. Women's Institute and Girl Guides now belong back where they should do, with women and girls. And may I say, not a moment too soon. But you have to ask, how many other institutions are there out there which seem to be lacking in this common sense, forthright manner in which they could do it and act quickly? For example, there's still men in women's prisons. Clearly immoral, unethical and wrong. Why should a vulnerable woman be locked up in a cell with a potentially very violent male all night, unwatched, unsupervised, uncontrolled? It's dangerous. I think we can all agree with that. Those women have no say. And it isn't just there. It's left, right and centre. Weird people like this who insist that they're trying to be something that they're not, or nor can never be. They need treatment. They need mental health treatment, not affirmation by the rest of us. Yes, I'm a lady. No, you're not. Let's not pretend. Let's not give credence to these lies. These people are mental, basically. They need help. I'm in the wrong body. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're in the wrong state of mind. Or you're just desperate for attention. Who knows? But, Susan, let's face it, you're still a man. Don't care how much slap you put on your face and how many A-line dresses you wear. Still, start little steps. Girl Guides and the Women's Institute, well done. Thanks very much.